Hey guys, this is Esther Vazquez from the Restored Hearts Movement blog, and I'm with Moises Vazquez.
God bless you guys.
I'm doing a video today about young leaders, and because he's the president of the Restored Youth Ministries, I wanted to interview him today.
Amen.
Which, by the way, I'm rocking his his gear from the RHM.
That's our first shirt.
So I have a couple of questions that I wanted to ask you. Being a young minister, first of all, tell me a little bit about your ministry.
Well, our ministry itself is developed between four guys, including me, and we started about in 2010. We began our ministry. It was mainly actually Pastor Jonathan Vazquez and her husband, and which is also our counseling pastor as well as Pastor Esther. But it started as kind of a mission for us to go ahead and present our stories to the youth, and that's kind of where it all came. It actually is funny where we got the name. We got it one night just driving from here towards West Palm Beach, and that's where Restored Youth.
So it was just a bunch of guys like rolling in a car, and
it was just us three rolling in the car. We quickly called up the fourth member, and we were like, "Hey, we want to get this, organized," and that's where Restored Youth was born.
Why Restored Youth?
All of us have deep testimonies. I know we're all pastors' kids and co-pastors' kids and stuff like that, but we've all gone through certain things in our lives that we've felt like we've been rock bottom and broken, and God has had to come in Himself and mold us back to peace, back together, and that's something that we wanted to project towards the youth, that no matter how broken you were, God could come back and restore you.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I have another question for you. What is your guys' mission? What is the vision that you guys have?
Since the beginning, since Jonathan was president of the ministry, our mission has always been to restore a whole generation. And we've understood that it starts one person at a time, so we focus on those youth around us and just trying to get the word of the living word of restoration out there.
That's really cool. So how did you become president of the ministry?
It's actually a crazy story. One probably way too long to share with you guys today, but I'll give you guys the summary.
Short version.
The short version. I started off as a secretary and moved up to president of missions, and our president at that moment became not only pastor but got married. Obviously, he got
Here's
married.
the ring to prove it.
And so he decided it was time to go ahead and pass the torch, and God put it in his heart that it would be me. I mean, I'm very grateful for that because it took me by surprise when it happened.
So you didn't really anticipate that at all? Not even a little bit?
Not even a little bit. I honestly thought that it would go to who is currently my secretary, because I just felt like he was more developed as a leader, and I always thought it was going more that way, but God had other plans.
So how did you get to where you're at now? How did you get from being president, from where you were at before being president to being president? How did that go?
It was a very big transition, to go from leading just missionary to becoming now the president of the whole ministry. Very big transition, but it took a lot of work, a lot of nights where it was just I had to really get down and be focused with God, and that was the main ingredient. Everything else came afterwards. So
what are some tips that you can give some young preachers out there? Because obviously you just don't wake up and decide, okay, I'm gonna be better I'm gonna be better for God, and then all of a sudden there goes a ministry in your hands. How did that happen?
It's definitely not something that happens from night to day. You have to get into prayer. Prayer is the number one, key to building a better relationship with God. before you could actually become a preacher, before you can become a president of a ministry, before you can open up a ministry, what matters is the relationship that you have with God. And that was one of the things that I had to develop first. And then afterward, obviously, if you're trying to become a preacher, you're trying to become a teacher, whatever it may be, you have to study what you're talking about. You know, I can't stand up there and just say a bunch of words. It has to be something that's inspired by God to come out of your mouth.
So, I know we talked a lot about like a lot of personal stories and stuff, but like tell me something funny. Like what's one of the funny stories that you have from ministry, like either whether it's driving to an event or preparing for an event, or
we have a lot of funny stories. The first one that comes to my mind, and that's the most recent one, we recently did last April a missionary trip to El Salvador, and they have these things out there called mototaxis, and what this is like a motorcycle, but it has a little, kind of like a little bench like this, where you're sitting in the back, and it fits 2 to 3 people.
So is it fluffy friendly?
It is definitely not fluffy friendly. So we thought it would be funny. We actually did not do this because we did not want to harm the guy who was driving the mototaxi. But we actually thought it would be funny.
No one was harmed.
If both me and the person who's now our treasurer, my little brother Joshua, which isn't so little, we're both big guys, would get into the back of the mototaxi and give the guy maybe $50 to try to go uphill with us. But it actually never happened. But we have a run-on joke with that. Just because now we'll walk around and we'll go, the mototaxi would have gone, or, so it's just a run-on joke with us, with that.
So, to all those people out there that have big dreams and, ministry goals and all these things, what would be a piece of advice that you would give them right now?
Most definitely, keep going after what you're dreaming about. Keep pursuing that. You can't give up. It might start as something small in your head, but God has big plans with everyone, regardless of it being a ministry or not. God has plans, and He definitely wants you to perceive. The Bible tells us that those who withstand all the way till the end, those who persevere, those are the ones that will be saved. So
so just keep on going, keep on going, keeping dreaming, and work towards
especially
the goal.
Throughout all the negativity around us, because we live in a world where we're not of here, and then that's one of my favorite actually ministries outside of ours is Not of This World, because it explains us so well. We live here, we are from here, but at the same time, our residency is somewhere else, and that's all we need to remember.
So, we're closing off this interview, and I just want to know, is there any projects? Anything we could be waiting for?
Definitely some projects. As of right now, the only project that is out and open right now is our website. We actually opened up in October.
Check out the website.
Check out the website.
The information is going to be below, so somewhere in this general area.
It's www.imrym.org. So for those of you who can't see it, that's the up and coming one right now. We post our blogs there, amen. And soon, I have recordings of preaching. We're gonna have video blogs, hopefully. We're actually gonna start making more shirts. We're gonna have Restored Youth Ministries.
So there's gonna be some swag.
There's gonna be some new gear. We're gonna have I Am Restored t-shirts, which we've been trying to get those out for a while. We're gonna have, hopefully we're gonna try to get out some hats, some stuff for you guys to be able to rock it out there and promote restoration above promoting us. We just want people to understand that you're restored. So that's one of the things coming.
And I do want to clear up that all proceeds. One of our biggest things that we do, especially a collaboration. I'm a part of the ministry as well, and one of the biggest things that we do is we do a missionary trip every year to El Salvador. And if you buy any of this merchandise, it can help us all those funds that we get from those T-shirts helps us to be able to bless those
Amen.
in El Salvador. We give medicine, we give vitamins, food to the children and the children's program out there. So just so that you know, you're not just randomly giving money to a bunch of guys.
Lots of guys. Yeah.
But it actually goes towards the ministry and towards those missionary trips that we have.
Yeah, and this year we're actually trying to expand outside of El Salvador as well. We want to go to other countries, so you never know. We could be going to one of your guys' homeland countries and trying to bless them as well. So that's definitely something that proceeds go to that. We don't take any salaries, nothing like that. So don't think we're not blinged out. But I also want to go ahead and share. Coming up in September, we're gonna have our first, hopefully annual, young men's camp.
Oh, that's cool.
That's something that has been envisioned for a while now, and Pastor Jonathan, is gonna be with us to go ahead and bring us that word. And we're starting off a little small. We're trying to bring it in between 20 to 25 young men. But if everything goes well, then we're gonna go ahead and expand. In July, we have a RHM service. It's gonna be outdoors here in Homestead, and we're gonna pretty much try to shake up Homestead and
awesome.
Let them know the message of restoration.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's my
being
pleasure.
on my blog.
It's my pleasure.
If you guys don't know, I am putting out blogs monthly, different videos, and I thank you for watching. And if you have any suggestions or any videos that you would like me to do, please write them in the comments below. And until then, remember that restoration comes from the Lord. And if you're going through anything, I believe we're a testament to that God could still restore your life. So God bless you, and God bless you in 2014.
Amen.
Bye.